Good morning to everyone that is in attendance, as well as anyone that does hit the replay later today. I am literally live for a few moments, which is a prelude to what I will be doing later. How are you, Miss Lolita? We got Lolita is my first comment this morning. Thank you, love. I'm live because there's quite a few different things that I want to talk about. How you doing, Tammy? Thanks for being here. I wanted to be able to talk with you all and really give a huge thank you. I don't think I've thanked you all adequately. For helping me reach the goal that I always wanted to reach on YouTube. And I feel like I've gotten a little cocky, right? I've reached a certain goal and now I'm like, shit, I don't really want to do that. Kind of want to focus on this. And I'm like, dang, these people didn't sign up and subscribe for your bullcrap, Brina. So I want to say thank y'all for hanging in there with me, sticking it out with me, actually showing up when I have something to say and sometimes when I just want to joke and laugh. But I saw a video this morning that really just made me want to hit the live button. And it's something I'll be going into depth on a little bit later, and that's mental health dealing with the saga and really any saga that you join, right? But the most pertinent one that I'm known for as the Brina, of course, is the Latruth saga. And I try not to hit on this topic. If you all notice, I try and avoid this topic at all costs. I may say my jokes about Earl and all these other people. I just really can't stand that bald head Ninja Turtle. But the mental health part is probably the most important part to learn from all of this. And I kind of just want to tap into that and talk with you all about how I've used the saga to build my mental health, to learn a lot about the toxic traits that I had before coming into the saga, the toxic traits I find hard to let go, right? I still call this lady a Ninja Turtle. And one day I will get to a point where I call her real name. Not now, probably not this year, probably not for a couple of years, but I will grow in that aspect. However, though, Ashley Chats really touched on something. It's almost like she was inside of my brain. Shout out to her. If you are not following this woman, you have lost out and you are wasting your time on YouTube. I don't know what you're doing on YouTube, but if she's not in your subscriptions, I just don't know what you're doing. But this woman really touched on the most important part about how now this will have a forever effect on a lot of us that even know about the saga, know the team players in the saga, who we don't like, who we like, why we like them, what do they do for us, how do they build our life in a way that is beneficial for us. When we think about those things, I like those things, right? Those are good things. When I can look at content from Ashley Chats and I can look at content from others and say, this is the part of the saga that I love. The part where we are learning how to maneuver as individual people. Because I've been doing a lot of watching. I just haven't been doing too much talking. I've been doing a lot of joking, but not too much, diving into the intellect part of it and really understanding why a lot of us were wrapped into it. I know I was. Um, Dealing with nonsense on both ends, dealing with good times on both ends, and being able to use myself as the example to show why it is pertinent for your mental health and why I decided to no longer care really about who's not paying what, who's trying to call who got this many baby daddies. I'm past that, right? Because we all know this how the story ends. We've seen how that story played out years and years, time and time, on and on and on and on. Basically, we've seen this story, right? And we're starting to see it in other people. We look at Remy and Pap, and I'm like, please don't go down this road, right? Because I've already seen what happens when a married couple goes at each other online. I've already seen what happens when there's a third party, aka Clarissa, jumping at the wife, and what happens when you do that. Because now people, guess what they're doing? They're building teams for Clarissa. They're building teams for Remy. Well, Remy already had her team. And then you got Pap, who has his team. And now these people are now going at each other. And let me tell you, it is interesting to see how strangers operate when it's their favorite people. right? Remember when you were so deep into the saga? A lot of us probably are not now, and that's a good thing. But hi, Leela. Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for being here. But a lot of us, when we were like deep into it, right? We couldn't understand anything else. I know for my own self, I couldn't understand or wrap my mind around anything else. People will be talking to me and I'm on YouTube or I'm on Facebook or I'm on TikTok trying to see what the new thing is, what the new headline is, and who effed up last night while I was asleep. What did I miss? I was in something like a trap, it felt like, but it wasn't a physical trap. It was a mental trap that I put myself in. So when I'm looking at these people go at it about Rem and Pap, even myself, I've made comments about them as well. But I try and be careful not to go there because I'm like, ain't no way in the crap. I'm finna go through a whole nother way. I'm arguing with this one, and now I gotta call her bald head, call her stanky, call her stupid. But all because I don't like her opinion, his opinion. Why are you live about Remy? Why are you live about Pap? I said to myself, wait a minute. If the Truth Saga has not taught us anything, it's to let married people fight. Let them fight. Let them. I don't give a blood drawn at this point. I wouldn't care because that ain't our business. And I had to learn when these people said they vows, they didn't say it to me. They said it to God and the little preacher man church, whatever Vegas trip, whatever they did. They said it to them. They didn't say it to me. And I'm not for richer, for poor, for better, for worse. I'm gonna leave your ass. That's where I'm at mentally. You don't do something right by me, I'm leaving. You don't talk to me nice, I'm leaving. You don't want to be my friend, I want to be your friend. You don't like me, baby, I still like you, but yeah, I won't be in your face though. Because that's just me. But not, you're the enemy, you're the op, I'll beat you down, do this and do this. I'm going to come meet you where you at and look up your information, dox you. The most demonic, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Where you're like, damn, I hate that I was a part of this shit. I hate that I was a part of this shit here. But then you take the good from it. I'm one of them, I'm a person that takes lessons and call everything that bad happens a lesson. And you say to yourself, it was a lesson though. It was something that taught me something about me, not necessarily, oh, now I'm gonna judge you and I know all about you and I heard this about you. No, people, no. As we move forward, and I will be back with part two. Excuse my smacking. I'm very close to the mic, but as I move into the meat and the potatoes later. And I know I always say later, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I say later, my time frame is off, and that's because I've just really put my time and attention into things that do benefit me, and that's working out and deworming myself, making sure I have no parasites inside of my body, and just really cleansing the soul. So when you see me absent a lot of times, that's where I'm at. I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on what makes Sabrina happy? Because, I thought what made me happy was making videos and trolling and having a good ass time out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Sabrina was out here having a good ass time. But it was a good time as a facade. It was a good time on the forefront. People didn't see the misery and the pain on the back end. And those that did get close enough to see that saw that I'm a real human being. I do feel after the nonsense. I do feel after someone has done something detrimental. So going through that and knowing I'm not effing these people ain't feeding me. They barely sending me any money. Why am I acting crazy like this? What the hell? Something is wrong with me. Why am I entertaining that? I ain't lost no weight. I gained weight. I picked up a bad habit. You know what I'm saying? And trying to wrap my mental around why this and why that and why this is saying. You get to a point where you're just like, come on. Hi, Latte. Hi, Humble Me. Hi, oh, boy, how pretty as hell. Thank you, Boo. She said, everyone hit the like button. Thank you. Yes, everyone, please hit the like button. I won't be here for very long. I promise you, I won't hold you up. I just came from the gym, so me catching my breath and then hopping on live is something a little different. She said, what's happening? What's happening, Louie? She said, checking in from my cubicle. I'll be hoverboarding to my office in a few moments. It says, Sabrina, I couldn't believe the stuff that was being said about someone you claim you once loved. I've been hurt by a man before, and even though it was very painful, I would never come online and dog him. And, when I tell you I 100% agree, let me tell you something. I have a regular ass relationship. I've always had regular relationships, but social media was not the first place I ran to dog them out. Now, I will dog them out, but in person, it just hits different when you cussing their ass out. You motherfucker, where my bleep button at? Goddamn motherfucker, you, I beat you. In person, it hits different. I'm gonna make you call police on me, babe. Yeah, I'm that type. But as far as in the public, I just feel like after learning and seeing what happens when married couples just really go through the fight. And it ain't just Pap and Rim and LaTruth and Bree and all these other people. It's a lot of people doing this stuff. Even regular people y'all have never even seen. I think a woman just came on and exposed her husband because she pays all the bills and he doesn't really pay any of the bills. And you can hear him in the background just screaming. And, what are you talking about today? And she got the camera in front of her because she knows she the breadwinner. And I got to find that video so y'all can see it. She was like, well, you was working. And I was like, damn, shorty, why would you get on here and do that? Why would you do that? You showing his face. People can look up your information. These people gonna see who you're talking about, ma'am. And guess what? It's a woman out there find your man so fine, she gonna make sure he get the job he need to pay the bills. And then guess what? You over there as the breadwinner by yourself. When you could have just cussed his ass out in private, made whatever decisions you needed to make, bust out when it's time to bust out. But aside from that, why do we need to know that this man is not paying bills in your house? We have to ask ourselves that stuff. Why do I need to know that? I don't give a damn. Now I'm messy and I'm going to read all 275 comments. Do you hear me? I'm going to read all 700,000 comments. But it ain't my business. I'm just being messy because you put it on social media. I can't be messy if you don't tell me your business. Okay. So learning little things like that where, I can make a post and I know what the post is for. Y'all don't know, but it's not for everybody. Privacy really does protect one from a lot of heartbreak, a lot of detrimental stuff. Because like I said, turn up. It just ain't necessary all the time. But yeah, the public humiliation is something that people will try and force on you. Now we hear about those weirdos that's out there doing public humiliation by choice, and we call that I can't say the whole word. That's why I had to use my bleep, but they doing it for that. You got the people out here that is involuntarily going through public humiliation. And I ain't signed my name on no devil's, contract, nothing. Why is you putting me out here on these streets? Why you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Why you gotta do me like that? Golly. So yeah, I definitely agree. They want to publicly shame them and it's hurt. Even when I look at Remy, I don't give a bleep how many times she says, I'm not hurt. I'm not emotional. I don't care. I'm in a happy space. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because happy people don't get online and expose their spouse this way. They don't. The truth is the truth is the truth. And you don't need to be live for a whole hour and 38 minutes to continuously say you're not hurt. Immediately it's going to come off that you're trying to convince yourself. And that's just all I read it as. So yeah, when I see that and they're like, I'm into God, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I go to church with my kids. I do right by my kids. I'm a good woman. It's like, who are you convincing? Are you convincing me or are you convincing yourself? Because we really didn't need to know or hear you say that 1,001 times. People should be able to see those things. And if people don't see them, they're either not close enough or you're a fraud. So yeah, those are things that we definitely got to tap into and ask ourselves. But, it feels good to be able to verbalize this. So, normally I try to make a video and make you all laugh, but I think at some point we get to a place where we say, nah, let me be real with the people and tell them this ain't it, y'all. This ain't how you hit when you hit. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 more minutes. Let me get ready to hop up out of here, see what else y'all was saying. She said, I'm going to read the comments too. And baby, listen, I'm going to read these comments. I'm going to read these comments. We have some people in here that miss some folks. Kyra came in with the morning boogie. Shantae came in and said good morning, Sabrina, in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. And I think I saw Terry. Yeah, I sure did. Thank you for the disclaimer. And these white hearts, I appreciate it. They need to be black. Because you know I'm proud of being black now. Let's make those hearts black next time. You know what I'm saying? Or brown. You can make them black or brown. Over here. But I appreciate y'all for kicking in with me. I know some people got a shucking job and all of this good stuff. I will actually try and schedule my part 2. And that way, I want to kind of dive into some stuff. I'll be honest with y'all. I started making my video, right? I had told you all, if you were here, I told you all I was making a video of a compilation of literally every piece of work I ever made in the saga. And before I leave out of here, let me just let y'all know. I cried when I watched it back. It's a very, very long video. A little over 20 minutes long. And I cried a little bit. I laughed. But it was a self-reflection type of thing. And I said to myself, I didn't already put this shit out there. You know what I'm saying? Some of it got me good into a good place and some of it didn't. But watching it back for myself was therapeutic because it let me know where I was. And I always say, if you're in the same place you were last year, you're not in a good space. You're not in a good space. And today I am now officially 9 pounds lighter, skin getting brighter, not afraid to do certain things in the public like I used to, not afraid to go out and see people. I just saw some beautiful people. I saw Ashley, I say Ashley, I'm thinking my Ashley Chat's cool because she in my brain. I just went out and saw Amber and all of the beautiful ladies at the party. A lot of times I don't get out. I don't like people. I stay away from people. But I said to myself, that's toxic. That's hypervigilance. That's not where you want to be. So, yeah, looking at that video and knowing I already put it out. I already went, did my big one on some of them. And I got my little monies from Facebook or whatever. But I just, I'm quick like that. I'll make a decision and be like, nah, after rewatching it, nah, I'm not going to put that out. If you were brave enough to go and watch some of my content on Brina, then so be it. If you found some of it funny, you did. Some of it's not going to make you laugh. Some of it's going to make you mad. And that was the purpose. But I'm not there anymore. Now I just want to speak life. I want to speak health. I want to make sure when people come and see me, they benefit. And whether that benefit is a warm laugh or, you learn something about, health or counting calories or counting carbs, DIY for something healthy, something. You learn something from me. But I want to get out of that headspace where I'm just wrapped up into a saga so much. Like even characters like the boy and his mama, the Bates Motel people, even people like that. I'm like, what the hell? I'm going live and teasing people that don't even have relevance in the saga. What the hell? We ain't doing that, man. This is me talking to myself. I'd be like, we ain't doing that, Brina, man. We ain't doing that. Because when we start giving them attention, damn, like, if you're going to give that much, you need to go back on Uncle Earl. Yeah, I know if I go over there, I'm going to cut up. And I'm trying to, get away from that. Now, that's not to say I'm perfect and I'm never going to slip up and I've learned my lesson and I'm 100% well. No, that don't mean that, baby. That don't mean that. That just means I want you all to know where I am. And I hope that you all like me enough to meet me where I am. Where when you see me fall, somebody reaches a hand out and they pick me up and they say, Brina, you were doing good, baby. What happened? What happened to you, Bookie? Or when somebody hears that I'm quiet, they reach out and they say, girl, where you been? See, I got Queen Fee for that. She's a beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. When people care about you, they hear when you're quiet. Never forget that. When people see, they care about you and they run and they don't see you beside them, they look back. And they go, oh, hell, I'm going to drop my friend on the floor. Go get my homegirl off the floor. The people coming. Those are the people that care about you. I want you to take that with you as you, think of the saga and things like that. Look to your neighbor and say, are you the person that'll pick me up if I fall down? And you just want to be over here, eat some of my popcorn, listen to my mess. Ask yourself that. Because some of y'all got them now. I ain't going to lie. But not everybody. And so, listen, man, I love y'all. Not to death, though, because that's violent. That's violent. But But I love y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Y'all make my heart really, really thum thum to the thum thum thum. Yeah, man. That's my heart right there. And I just appreciate y'all. Till next time, like I said, I'll be back later so we can dive a little bit more into it, especially the mental health part. I hope I am blessed with Ashley's grace. Ashley, bring your ass over here so we can talk a little bit about this mental health. Cause girl, if y'all don't go watch that video where she talk about the mental health aspect part of the saga, okay. I know, Slay. I know, Slay. And I'm gonna go check. Good morning, Rolanda and Sheikah. Thanks for being in the building. But listen, y'all, make sure y'all be good to yourself. So y'all can go be good to other people. And stay from over there with that Earl and that stuff, y'all. Stay from over there. They don't mean you no good. Till next time.